Dell Technologies had their investor day. And it's so funny when I follow Dell so closely that a lot of this is super just review for me. So I really focused on what were some of the new things that came out. But let me first say Dell post VMware spin, and Michael was very clear on this, is all about the hybrid cloud. And Daniel, ever since our businesses have formed, we have both been talking about the hybrid cloud. My talk track is always that, hey, I nailed the hybrid cloud 10 years ago. I just picked the first wrong horse to ride, which was OpenStack. But the fact is that we have $1 trillion spend out there in enterprise IT. 90+% of it is on-prem, and that includes PCs. But when you look at infrastructure versus IaaS, a super interesting chart they put it was just how small of a market now IaaS is, but Amazon, AWS is getting the most of that, which just shows how big you can be by dominating an up and coming market. So that was a big takeaway for me. And finally, on the PC side, the big takeaway for me was this slide that Sam Bird had that says not all PCs are created equal. Not too many people know this, but Dell might be number 2 or number 3 in terms of PC units, but they're number 1 in PC revenue, and very few people talk about it. Why? They optimize they don't make up their losses in volume. Sure, they're still hitting Chrome out there, which financially I don't think has paid off for anybody, but they hit premium consumer PCs and they dominate in commercial PCs. 47% of their revenue is in commercial PCs. And I think that hopefully that's an eye opener to the, why Dell can't beat Lenovo in terms of unit market share. They go where the money is. They go where the profit is.
Yeah, Michael is a brilliant financial engineer. People tend to not ever give enough credit, but I think he's doing well, and he's probably feeling okay. By the way, I'm looking forward to reading his new book. I don't know if you saw that, but I like it. It's about winning and still being nice. And I got to say, as being one of the first people that reached out to me to welcome me to Austin, I'm always impressed. I see him. I always see him like posting on like a new entry-level person starts at Dell and they post on LinkedIn, and Michael will actually comment on it. I'm like, who does that? Like, how many CEOs actually take the time to do that? Now, again, that's not about Securities Day, but it is a this all ties together to why Dell's performance is what Dell's performance is. The spinoff of VMware is both a great opportunity. Financially, it's brilliant. Technologically, I think it leaves a number of question marks, but I think I think they'll answer them. I think in time they will answer them. They're going to have to fill this gap for hybrid cloud. They're looking, Apex will be part of that solution. They do have a big stack of products in their infrastructure solutions group. They'll need to highlight more because VMware's been kind of a beacon of consistency in its infrastructure business, growing 8, 9, 10, 11% every single quarter. And over the last 2 years with COVID, the ISG business hasn't grown as quickly. That to say, it's still a $33 billion business, and the client business is 40. You're talking about $80 billion in revenue in fiscal year 21. You're talking about a company that over the last 5 years has gained market in commercial PCs, in servers, in hyper-converged infrastructure, a very diverse portfolio. And Pat, only because we only have a few minutes, I'll just say the other thing that was really interesting on Securities Day was the company, one, it's going to reinvest profits from this spinoff. It's talking about spending about $5 billion in share repurchases, and that's because it doesn't believe its stock is valued appropriately. If you look at the market cap, I don't think it is. The second thing is they announced that they're going to instill a dividend, which will create more value for investors, which, and by the way, I believe this deal puts them back into investment grade, which is something that Michael's been trying to do ever since the EMC deal, which obviously created a lot of debt for the company. And that seems to be something that will be in the rear view. So it ends up being a very brilliant deal. The company's doing well. It's in the right spaces. And, I look forward to kind of continuing to have this conversation, Pat.